Welcome to the Marvel Alliance podcast, where we cover anything and everything to do with the Marvel Universe. From the comics, TV, and movies, we go from Earth 616 to the Mojoverse to the TVA in order to bring the Marvel Universe right to you. I'm the man without fear, Chris.
I'm the nerd with the mouth, David.
And I'm the podcaster of Mischief, Travis Snell.
Alliance Assemble. Volume 283, and as I just tweeted out, it's one of my favorite episodes of the year. Next to big movie reviews, this is definitely one I look forward to because we get a little crazy. We have a lot of laughs at that point. But it's always one of the highlights is having the original co-host of Marvel Alliance back, Mr. Travis Snell.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. Yeah, back in better circumstances. Last time I was on this feed, I was dropping a solo episode threatening the fans and everybody. But yes, it's good to be back. I try to be on as much as I can. My hope is to be more consistent in the future, but I'd never miss the predictions episode because, yeah, it's always a fun one. And, yeah, I'm excited to see what everyone has because it's like a light movie year, but not a light content year. But the content, like the movies we have are still... Avengers still 11 months away, so that's kind of an odd thing.
Yeah.
Spider-Man July, so it's odd not having I've gotten used to having a Marvel movie in May and March, so yeah, I'm excited to hear what you guys have, and I'm excited to. We haven't done a 3-man of us in quite a while, so I'm ready for this.
Yeah,
so.
no, we're going a little early because I know you've got GeekVerse stuff to prep for. You got to see Bone Collector, right?
I got to see the Bone Temple.
Bone
Collector, great movie.
That's a different movie.
Denzel and Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, it is a good movie.
Yeah, I got to see the Bone Temple, and the showings here are just lately my theater has just sucked the biggest bag of suckiness, just like literally to a mini rant. I didn't do this on Trastoli today. I'm trying to see in a couple of weeks from now that Sam Raimi movie Send Help. We're not doing a GeekVerse review, so I want to see it. I'm like, oh, if I'm not doing a GeekVerse review, I can see it super late when the kids are asleep. I don't have to review it. There's only one late showing, and it's only in 3D. Why do they want me to see Send Help in 3D? The 7 p.m. showing, that's in 2D. The 10 p.m., 3D. So I'm in a moral conundrum. So my Grand 10 Kelowna, awful. But yes, I'm happy. Thank you guys for making the adjustments so I could be on here and still fulfill the obligations over there as well. So
good. Wow. How was your week, David?
Week was nice and easy this week. Knock on wood that it stays like that. Get through one more day of it. So I'm happy and I'm content with this. And I feel like this week I've been coasting and I've been okay with that.
As you told us off air, you lazy man, you can Brent do all the work.
Hey, if I can get away with it this week, I will take it. I've just been chilling.
It's all good. Yeah, busy week here. We got a 3-day weekend coming up. I didn't get to see it, but we did have the Peace Monks walking through town nearby at that point. So I know a lot of friends and family went out to see that. So if you haven't been paying attention, we got a number of monks going through, just promoting peace and honor and nice. Civility. Imagine that in this society. But
yeah, it's a good thing.
Some good thing. But yeah, we've got we let us as we see. Oh, here we go. We've got Bears Lair in the chat. Good evening, gentlemen. I use gentlemen loosely. Interesting.
What do we do to offend you?
I know. Yeah, explain yourself.
Yeah, not yet. You can tweet. You can message us that in like 20 minutes when we have a bad prediction or something.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So let us get all the lovely show plugs out of the way. We are part of the Geek Ultimate Alliance Network with 6 shows covering the wide range of geek and nerdom. To see the full schedule, check out the show notes below and subscribe to the Geek Ultimate Alliance Network on Twitter at GUAPod Network so you know when all the shows drop. We also have a Patreon, so if you want to throw a couple of shekels our way, we've got 2 tiers. Our dollar tiers, our tip jar to say, hey, you think we're doing a good job? And then we've got our $5 tier with ad-free episodes, early access episodes, and Patreon exclusive shows. We got Marvel Alliance, got 3 shows in the back catalog for you patrons. We can watch this all day. The Infinity Saga Marvel Alliance rewatch. Tales from the House of X, where we rewatched our favorite movies from the Fox era of X-Men. And then the Baxter broadcast, the Fantastic Four retro film reviews. What are David and I are going to do this year? Being honest with you, I don't know. Haven't figured that out yet. However, off air, I've got to talk to David about an idea I've got for Comic Book Club for that. That'll give us some kind of continued content so we're not always finishing up saying, all right, what are we going to do this time?
One more day, here it comes.
Yep, exactly. So,
No.
Dedicated to Brent.
No. Dedicated to Brent. Brent might actually come back on just to to curse at us.
He's still got the login, so it's possible.
He does have the logins, yes, and he's not afraid to use it. Yeah. But we also have DC Alliance guys doing the DC films through the year. We've got Joe during his Multiverse Minutes Disney Dives. He just released the newest episode today at time of recording, Pocahontas. I've really enjoyed the backstories he's been able to tell with everything going through all the Disney animated movies in chronological order. Let no one tell Joe that he is not committed to a concept or podcasting in general.
Yes.
So, but we want to thank our patrons. We can't do this without your support. So go to www.patreon.com/GUA network so you can join our lovely Patreon. But if you can't join us, we totally understand. Take 30 to 90 seconds and rate and review the Marvel Alliance solo feed, Geek Ultimate Alliance feed on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your platforms of choice. We greatly appreciate it. And last, but certainly not least, we want to thank our official sponsor, panelboundcomics.com, for your omnibus hardcover collected edition needs. JP and the crew at Panelbound Comics have got it going on with excellent customer service, immaculate packaging, ships around the world. Got clocks ticking on locking in those pre-orders for these new solicits. We've got Ultimate X-Men Omnibus Volume 4, concluding that series, the era of after the infamous Ultimatum. We've got the final volume of the long-sought-after collected Daredevil by Nascente and Romita Jr., concluding that run. We've got Amazing Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 7. Again, 7 volumes of that collection. And so, yes, and what I've always said and promoted, X-Men, the Messiah Trilogy Omnibus. Ugh, I love that, love that, love that. That is finally going to be collected in oversized format. We've got 2 codes to use. We use Marvel GUA at checkout to get $2 off every single order, or use that code Marvel GUA SIT to get 5% off 4 or more books together. We want to thank them for being our official sponsor. All right. So, gentlemen, it is still, what is the second or third week of January? We can still relive the past at that point. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to, before we get into our predictions, we do have to settle up as what I call the reckoning. As I say, we will see who got correct and who got wrecked with their 2025 predictions. So, Mr. Snell, you being the guest, we'll start off with what your predictions were. And okay. I know that you said you have a debate on one to see if it counts or not. So, number 1, no MCU billion-dollar movie in 2025. Survey says very much correct.
Yes. Barely combining them almost didn't get there. If Fantastic Four did like a little less, they wouldn't have got there together. So I was happy with that one. So.
All right, next one. Hawkeye Season 2 will be announced. You got wrecked on that one. We got a lot of hints.
I feel like, now, it would not count as a point for me, but when those negotiations for Reminer fell apart, I feel like it was going to happen. If that didn't fall apart, I legitimately think it was going to happen. But when the whole money dispute and everything, dang. So, but I thought I was close. So,
yeah. So, all right, we'll see another X-Men and/or Mutant in live action project this year. I don't think we did.
Well, I guess this is my asterisk, my hold up.
This is your asterisk, okay.
It depends, and maybe we'll get this in future movies. What is Franklin Richards?
Well, in the comics, it's debatable because he was an Omega level mutant, but during the Krakoa era, he's lost his abilities, so he's basically nothing. But he does have It hasn't been labeled in the MCU. All we have is from Galactus saying he's been imbued with the power cosmic.
Now, I'm only doing this on a technicality. I would not give myself said point because even in the comics, I don't really count Franklin as a mutant because to me, his powers are spawned from his parents having those powers. I get it. A mutant is technically you are born, you have the powers. Mm-hmm. But if his parents didn't have those powers from the cosmic, would he have got those powers? Likely not. So that's why I say no. But I was just throwing out there as the asterisk because he's been a mutant before. So I was like, but yeah,
But it was this year. You still could be right, but you said that year, you'd be,
Yes. Oh yeah. This year we're in the clear. I'm not making that prediction. There's so many mutants now, but yeah, I thought we'd get one more, even like a post credit, and it didn't happen. So
didn't happen. Yeah. All right, Andrew Garfield will officially be announced for Spider-Man 4. God, that hurts.
Yeah, that hurts. Yeah, I think that was going off some rumors at the time, and a lot of people were like, yeah, we're hearing some multiverse stuff, and that's gone. So hopefully just back for Secret Wars. So.
Yep. And lastly, another one that hurts, no Hugh Jackman return announcement. Mm-hmm. You were right, but it still hurts not hearing it.
Yeah, I was right. So it's a twofer on that one. But I think Actually, I don't think we're getting it this year. I think they're going to leave that as a surprise. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right, David. At least one more original Avenger will be confirmed for Doomsday. I don't think we got anything confirmed officially.
Yeah, I guess not any originals. We had the rosters, but none of the OG 6. So,
Well, does the Captain America will return count?
No,
Or Steve
no.
Rogers will return count.
Well-
so that's this year. That was this year. Remember?
No,
Yeah,
that trailer
No,
came
he's
out.
No, he's right. No,
that
he's
trailer
right.
came out
When
at
did
the
that
end of December.
When did that
Yep.
trailer officially release? Not the league.
No, officially released.
Four
It was-
weeks ago.
Yeah,
Stop
it
the
was
count.
right.
Stop the count.
It was right before Christmas because I was driving home and I was at the Chick-fil-A when it dropped. I remember
Okay.
that.
That's a point then. Actually,
Okay, there we go. Okay.
By a couple days.
Yep.
he got it in there, but he got it.
So he wasn't. I can't remember. He wasn't on one of the chairs.
Evans wasn't. No, he was
Okay.
after the
All right.
fact. Yeah, because that was
Okay,
the
yeah.
surprise. So.
Yep. Okay.
And actually, then wait a second. The chairs was last year, right?
Yes.
Even then, they confirmed Chris Hemsworth, so we're arguing over nothing. They already confirmed an original Avenger coming back. So,
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. We're just being jerks about it because we don't want you to
Yeah.
get the point. All right. We will get a full look at Champions lineup. Travis's favorite thing to talk about next to Armor Wars:
I don't think
Champions
you're-
and Young Avengers.
You may never get a Champions full roster lineup.
Not at this point. I think this ship has sailed on me getting that. It was a wish and a hope, and that ship has sailed.
Yeah, I mean, we all love Amon Vellani on this, and Miss Marvel on this, but that whole end credit sequence really cool. I don't know if we're gonna that coming back. So.
Yeah, and we got one of the Young Avengers that's currently pregnant right now. So again, are they really Young Avengers anymore? I don't know.
Young's a relative term now, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. 50's the new 40.
Yeah. All right. 2 cast members from the Defenders will make an appearance in Daredevil Born Again. So Defenders and Sidekicks.
You're one season off, I think.
Yeah.
You got Jessica, and I bet we're getting one more. So I think you're one season off with that prediction.
Yep. Close. All right. Captain America Brave New World will be the lowest grossing cast Captain America movie, sorry. Miss that. So the lowest grossing Captain America movie.
Yeah, you got. I guess was it? Did it beat? Actually, no. Did it beat First Avenger? Because First Avenger is pretty low too, right? It's like 3 something.
All right, look it up.
I actually think this is a wrong one. Actually, I think it still beat First Avenger, because I think there's a lot of MCU apologists being like, "Well, it did beat the First Avenger." So MCU and Pullis, yeah, definitely. Well, are they putting out less content though? We got 2 movies, but then shows. We have Spider-Man Friendly Neighborhood. We have X-Men '97. We got Vision Quest.
Daredevil.
We have Daredevil. We got Wonder Man, and there's a couple other animated stuff. So that's just 5 shows right there. Then 2 movies. That's already 7. I feel like we're missing one animated show out there. So 7 projects. That's a lot of stuff. Yeah,
It beat
always thank you, Jake.
First Avenger.
it did. So there you go.
Okay.
So I agreed with you back then, but somehow it still beat First Avenger. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
370 to 415.
Wow, okay. So you get it. All
There
right,
you go.
Lois Glaerson. All right,
So
Blade
what did you end up getting? Did David end up getting 2 there then? Because you got the Avengers one.
Yep,
What was the
he's
other
got
one?
2 right now. Yeah.
Okay, 2, and I got 2. What does Chris got over here?
All right, Blade. No, he's got one more to go. Blade as a movie, not the character, will officially be canceled. That has not officially happened.
It's rumored every week, but not yet.
Yeah, that's the biggest rumor. What-
Nothing yet.
Oh, there we go. Jake, my co-host on Raven and the Boys monthly show, he's asking, does that account for inflation?
No, we can't do that. We can't do it. He didn't put in the question. He didn't put it in. His
Yeah.
answers.
We get very specific, except for technicalities. So, All right. So my turn. SDC's 2025 Hall H will officially reveal 1 new MCU movie and 1 new Disney Plus show. Nope, they didn't even show up this year. I take it back. They did show up. They just didn't show up in anything outside of a Marvel television capacity. So no Hall H for them.
Yeah.
So, all right, the collective box office of the MCU this year will reach $1 billion, but no movie itself will reach $1 billion. As you said, what was the surprising one was Brave New World worldwide actually was the one that gave me the biggest hope. because I thought that was going to be the lowest performing. That actually put me in a very good striking distance that early on. Thunderbolts didn't help, but
No.
Fantastic Four did.
Well, there you go.
So I don't know what the final count was on that, but it definitely was slightly over $1 billion.
Yeah, because I think Cap's like 400. F4 is like what 550, and then the Thunderbolts is like 370. So I think it's like 1.2, 1.3. So
Yeah.
it got there. But again, if F4 just does a couple hundred million less, that might have been a wrong prediction. So it was close.
Yeah. We will get our first official date for Spider-Man 4 this year, and we did.
We did, yeah.
We will see the new Avengers start to form this year, and we did.
I'll give you that. Yeah, we're still going
No, we
into
did. We definitely did.
First of all,
Avengers.
fake Avengers. They're fake. But the fact that we still don't even know anybody on Sam's team, and we're going to our fourth Avengers, what are we doing here, guys?
We did call them the new Avengers.
That's true.
All right, and we will get no official word about the MCU's X-Men, who the MCU's X-Men will be. God, words are tough.
Yeah,
And we did
true.
not.
There you go. So Chris takes it this year.
I take it this
Yes.
year. I've been coming pretty much in last place, or not necessarily there. But yeah, I don't know about this year. Some of my predictions are pretty out there, and I'm saying I'm not even confident, but I'm gonna have some fun. So
Perfect.
all right, see, we got. All right, seems like Kevin Feige trying to please. I don't even know. Oh,
Bigots and erasing black characters, which I do not agree with at
Well, yeah, I was
all.
gonna say I don't think you can. If like the first 10 minutes, all the black characters die in Doomsday, then we can come back to
Yeah.
this conversation. I see, because I think people have talked about that, right? Because even Chris, you've talked about that as
I did,
far
yeah,
as
in
like
the vodka
the
stream, yeah.
show, and some of the shows that have had people of color in the lead, them just being completely binge, like Echo, Wonder Man.
yeah, we mentioned it last week too.
Yeah. So that's where it's like I can see the point of view. I have to wait and see till what happens also with the movies, right? Because again, I know people are like, oh well, Anthony Mackie is still Captain America. Well, I want to see what happens by the end of Secret Wars, because if they got
Yeah.
a new white guy playing Steve Rogers and he's Captain America, then I'd go, you know what? Maybe there's something, but I think
I'm glad that they said Steve Rogers will return to Captain America, because that really would not be a good look if they said Captain America will return. It's like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Yeah, I don't get the vibe that he's trying to erase black characters. I do get the vibe that they don't have faith in a lot of the black-led properties, which is why the TV shows have been just kind of put out there to pasture. But also, we have to think the last Doomsday trailer, the thing that people go home on, and the last remembrance is a group of black characters meeting the new crop, the Fantastic Four. So you're bringing in the next big franchises, and you're doing it with a group of black characters. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not abandoned. He hasn't given up on these characters. I do believe that they don't have faith in some of these adaptations that we would hope that they would. So they are being put out there without the big backing of some of these other properties. I would give you that much, but I don't think it's an appeasing the bigots thing. I think it's more of, we don't have faith that these vehicles can lead on their own. So here it is, do with it what you will.
And it's also a lot of characters, like, not to go completely off topic, but it is still a lot of more lesser known characters, right? Echo, Wonder Man. I don't think Black Panther 3 is being shelved. I think the reason why Blade hasn't been officially canceled or canned is because they know if they can eventually get that going, I think Blade will be a hit just on the name alone, right? Blade's a popular character, one of those first comic book things. They just brought that character back with Deadpool and Wolverine. So I think it's more kind of what you guys talked about here and what we've talked about on GeekVerse, where I think it's just both DC and Marvel the next 3 years are just going to really depend on not as many of the spin-off characters or the sidekick characters. They're going to go back to your main lineup, your X-Men, they even F4 kind of struggle, right? Even with DC, like, I think you'll get one of them. That's why you're going to get Batman soon. It's just, I think they've seen a few characters. Like, I don't have much faith next year in Supergirl or Clayface. I think they'll do all right, but I think a lot of these studios now, when a lot of movies have maybe not turned a profit, are going, okay, we got to go back to just the heavy hitters, the main eventers for a while, and then maybe we can get back to doing those, So
We'll close this out and then we'll head into the predictions. So at least Wonder Man is getting fairly decent marketing. Yeah, it's definitely better. I would say that. It's definitely more humorous. But all right, we're going to take our first official break before we get into our predictions. All right, listeners, these ads help keep the lights on the Geek Ultimate Alliance Network. We don't get to choose when ads come on. It can be a bit loud, so give that 3 count before they come on. 3, 2, 1. We'll be right back. And we are back. All right, so predictions for 2026. Anything related to Marvel, MCU, things like that. I'll go last, as I usually do. So who would like to go first?
No, you also won, so
No, well,
Yeah.
that don't matter at that point. Prediction ain't gonna matter. It's not like a draft.
I'll let Dave go first. And the
All right,
guest,
all
I'll
right,
let
David.
the other
And
host
if you
go
guys
first.
will put it into the document or something like that, that way I can keep track.
Cool.
Sure.
Are we doing all 5 at once, or are we going to
Nope.
do one at a
One
time?
at a time. One at a time.
All right. So, my first one, both Doomsday and Spider-Man will make more than any other comic book movie from 2025.
I think, I yes,
Yeah.
I'll say yes for that. I think if
So-
one of those don't, then we're in big trouble. Because what the
So you're all so basically Superman, all 3 Marvel movies. Anything else that we're missing?
Nope. I think what we topped out at 550 or so. Yeah. All of these, both of these will both make more than that 550.
I'll say if it's fact or fiction, fact.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, like you said,
Okay.
we're in trouble if they're not.
Okay, so then I'll go with this one because I didn't want I wanted to go somewhere in the middle where it's not a sure bet, but I think it's a safe enough bet. So I'll throw a safe box office one as well. I'll say Brand New Day will be the second biggest Holland Spider-Man movie. So I'm saying it's going to beat Far From Home, but it won't beat No Way Home. It's going to be nuzzled safely, and that's not an easy layup because Far From Home, remember, is still like a
Yeah.
1.2 billion. So I'm saying it's going to be like at least a 1.3, 1.4. I don't. Obviously, it's not going to have those returning characters, the Toby and Andrew kind of hype. But I think that the
Maybe.
like, absent, yeah, right, maybe, yeah. At least in the marketing, we don't have. I don't
Yeah.
think we're gonna have Defoe, Molina, and stuff. But I think that the absent makes the heart grow fonder, and the fact that it is at the time when this movie comes out been half a decade since you've seen Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I think just that will make people come out. I think he's a bigger star. Zendaya's a bigger star since then. I don't know how much Punisher and Hulk separately add to the box office, but I think together they help. Sadie Sings coming off Stranger Things, whatever you think about the finale, one of the most watched things ever in streaming history. So I think I see enough with Holland being gone for a while and all these other entities that can at least get $1 billion and break Far From Home. So that's what I'm saying. It's going to be the second biggest Holland Spider-Man movie. So
Yeah. I'll continue the trend with box office at this point. I will say only one of the MCU movies this year will make $1 billion.
whoa, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not going to go far to like swing and just choose.
Specify.
I'm just going to say one. One will make $1 billion.
Wow. Okay, that's
So,
interesting.
because I could see in a world like this, Spider-Man makes more than Doomsday. I could
Ooh.
easily see that happening.
I think that for me, I still lean to Doomsday. The only way I think that is true is if Doomsday has bad word of mouth. I think that
Yep.
easily can happen because I think Spider-Man's gonna have a lot less to juggle. I know there's a lot of characters, but like Doomsday is way more to juggle than Spider-Man. So
Yeah,
I think there's a chance.
It's the juggling, but also in the sense of like you look at even yes, I know Superman didn't get. Everyone wants to say scoreboard and everything. Superman did well for what it was at that point, but just like Superman's that and Batman are those characters worldwide recognition at that point, people can go into Spider-Man and not have to feel like they've watched a lot. Like you get Avengers Doomsday just on the thinking, oh God, what all, like that the baggage right now, you know, to watch everything. So
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah. So all right. David, you're up.
All right. Doomsday will reach the top 5 grossing movies of the year.
Again, I hope so.
I know, yeah.
Well, yeah, I think so. The only problem, I if you were to ask me yes or no, I would say yes. The only problem is you never know what foreign film that we have no idea about is going to come out. Like look at technically biggest movie last year, Niza 2, right? There,
Yeah.
and I think there was one year where the top 10 had like 3 or 4 movies from China. So in theory, I think you're right, but maybe there's some movie that's coming out July in China that I have no idea about, and Avengers is gonna. Like maybe like I think there is always a chance Avengers can underdeliver. I don't agree with. I'll bring up his comment here. On the game says Ultron's 1.4 billion has to be the floor for Avengers movie. It makes Doomsday makes less amount. The MCU is truly in trouble. I don't think that. I would give you that if it's under $1 billion, but I think if it's like just a little under 1.4, or even if it's $1 billion, to me, I think that's a win after the rocky road they have. I think for me, then the follow-up is Secret Wars, because I've said this on GeekVerse, where I think Doomsday is just about winning people back. It's trying to get those GA people like, hey, remember, you like us. I think Secret Wars will be the real test of if they're in trouble or not, because I think Doomsday, with even just Downey alone, that face, like, I think he kind of gets $1 billion. That's why this man's getting paid $50 million to show up for a couple hours, you know?
All right.
Okay, that's me then. Okay.
Yep.
Do I have any? I'm trying to go for anyone that you guys might have. All right, I'm going to go for this one because I think someone could have this. You never know. I'm not going to specify how, what, flashback, new scene, variant, whatever it may be. I'm just going to say Thanos will return in Doomsday. Maybe it is just his spine getting ripped out. Maybe it's something else. But I think that you're going to... I could be wrong. It could be Secret Wars. I just, for some reason, don't feel Thanos is going to not make it. That's one thing I appreciate the MCU, whether it is by design or poor planning, that I've always said that when Thanos got snapped away, remember, he did not die. Even that Thanos, he didn't die. He's in that glove somewhere, right?
Yeah.
He can come back. So I just
Energy
feel like...
energy just doesn't get destroyed. Energy just exists.
Yes, and like as much as you got Downey, they want to push Doom, I get that. Thanos is still the MCU Star Vader, right? So it's like, I think that will be a big moment, so I don't know where that would be. I actually wouldn't even mind if they took the what if route and there was a multiverse where Thanos was a good guy on it. I think that could be tons of fun. But or even I would love a Pirates of the Caribbean 3 situation where the Avengers have to work with a villainous Thanos to take Doom down. I think there's tons of avenues. I just don't know which or the other, and obviously I can't ask this question next year because I think if it's non-Doomsday, it's for sure in Secret War. So I'm saying Thanos gonna come back here, and who knows in what capacity. So
yeah, I think there's a good chance for it.
We're getting Ultron back this year, you know.
No, we'll get Ultron. I'm still wondering in the sense of how we're getting Ultron back. Like, I know he's coming back, but in the sense of, are we talking physically or are we talking in Vision's head, you know? And, like, he's seeing things. Or
or is even just, like, AI where he's there, but he's not in a physical form at all. He's just, like, a speech and stuff. So, yeah, that's true. So,
all right. No, I see, kind of going last, I think it's more possible for Secret Wars and Doomsday just because I'm still not certain we're going to see much in this whole idea of the Void or Battleworld until the very end of the movie, and I don't know if they're going to save that for I think they're going to save that for something bigger than just Thanos. Okay. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
but,
I agree. I think that they will save the Thanos for Secret Wars as one of those hooks to get you to watch it. Because like we said, Secret Wars is going to be more of what can you actually do outside of the names of Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, and things like that. Here's a big event that's going to be riding on a lot of things. So if you see a glimpse of Thanos or think you're going to see a glimpse of Thanos, that's more of a reason to watch that one. So I see him more there.
all right, I'll
But,
text
hey,
you
it's
both.
possible.
I'll text you both December 17th.
That's fine.
Who I really want back is I want them running back with Infinity War. I want Red Skull back. Where the hell is this guy? You know, like,
absolutely.
Why like get him back in there? But yeah, I guess we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Taking one from last year from David because I think it's happening this year. Daredevil Born Again, we will see the return of another Defender. We were going to see it. I want Colleen Wing. I want it so badly. I don't think it's going to happen, but we're going to see at least one more Defender join Jessica Jones in some capacity. I think they learned a lot from how well the changes that they did and the episodes that people knew the changes that were done, saying, okay, they've given us assurances. We've seen the proof of concept. Let's give the people what we want this season. You know?
Yeah, no, I think so. It's just a question of who. But the good thing with those shows, there's so many characters to pick from, right? So, but yes, I think Jessica Jones is the most well received of those characters, so it makes sense to announce that character. But you can leave some surprises as well. So I think that I would
maybe
be shocked
some Sweet
if this
Christmas.
Yes,
Sweet Christmas.
give me my culture, please.
I'm the Warrens, give me the Warrens back, or no, the Meachins, the Meachins. That's what I want back. You know.
So another Defender will return. So, all right, David, you're third.
Okay. All right. So I will keep with your Daredevil theme. We will have Daredevil Season 3's release timeline before the end of the year.
Okay.
Well, I would hope so, right? Oh, season 3. Okay.
Yeah,
I
season
said
3.
Season 2.
Yeah, better. We're
Like,
gonna have
it's
it in
coming out
March.
this year. I'm not giving them points. Yeah, I could see that because
We call those the wussy bets that you just know you're getting.
I think Wonder Man's gonna come out January 27th. It's gonna be a bin. Yeah. No, I
hear
can see
that. I hear that. I hear that. That what was it? The Avengers are going to come out sometime in December.
yeah. So no, I can see it. They've been already talking about season 3, so I could see them maybe give an outline or something. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go for one more. This one, because you never know, you guys might have this. So I think this is maybe an easier one, but definitely not a lock. I'm just going to say that the Brand New Day end credit will explain Tom Holland's absence in Doomsday. Maybe the movie does that, but I'm going to specifically say the end credit. I think they're going to pull a Ant-Man and the Wasp scenario where obviously, not saying he's going in a van, but that situation where it's like, where's Ant-Man during Infinity War? Well, he was here. I think you could do that in Doomsday. We just haven't heard his name. And I mean an absence. This, I guess part of my question is maybe I would say it from official confirmation. I think Tom Holland could still be in Doomsday, but it's in a smaller role, a post-credit. I mean that he's not as far as a big figure, the same way as, like I said, Ant-Man or some other characters like Hawkeye was in Infinity War, something like that, where I think most of the movie, I don't think it will be about Doomsday. I think they're going to try and make it its own thing, and then the tag will kind of be to explain, oh, this is what's going on. So that's it's a longer one now that I've put a couple of preferences on it, but that's what I'm saying. That it'll explain his absence of being a main character in Doomsday. I'll say that. I'll change it up. So
Yeah, especially if you're, Scooper Madness being what it is, that Toby will be the more lead Spider-Man in Doomsday than Holland, which would again, I'm here for it. I prefer Andrew, but again, I'll take it.
do you guys think, because we've always talked about this, because we know that Holland
That's me speaking with the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2 poster in the back that I prefer Andrew, but again, I adore Spider-Man 2, so.
Yeah. Do you guys think that do you think, because we know that Holland's supposed to be at least like contracted for 2 more Marvel movies at least, do you think that's Holland or do you think it's Spider-Man the character? I'm asking, like, does this Tobey Maguire appearance knock off one of those Spider-Man appearances for Holland? Or do you think those are separate? Because remember, they announced a new deal with No Way Home.
Yeah.
And then they said, okay, he's going to do No Way Home and he's going to be another Avengers movie. We never got another Avengers movie, right? So I would assume if we're getting No Way Home, that's one, and then Brand New Day, that'd be another. He has 2. So that's why I'm wondering if that contract is for a Spider-Man appearance or specifically Tom Holland. Because that's what I'm wondering is like the Toby that's kind of killed 2 birds with one stone, right? Like you get a Spider-Man, but you also knock off on those contracts. I would love to. I'd love to see all those Sony Marvel contracts.
It's funny. Life imitating art at that point. Talking my real life job at that point. It's not about the person; it's about the character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think it has anything to do with, because again, anything can happen to an actor. We've seen it so many different times.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it is the character, not the actor.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to put their money. I mean, better not after the lessons they should have learned a long time. Put your money behind the actor.
Yeah.
But so there'll be 2 more. Yeah. All right. Choices. I'm gonna save my crazy one for last, just because I'm curious about your all's reaction. All right. There will be a cameo. There will be at least one cameo in Avengers Doomsday that will be kept a surprise until it's released.
Surprise? Do you mean you just mean like not announced in the public?
Not
right?
announced, no chairs, no second
Yeah.
things, like a cameo that people are like, oh my gosh, I was not ready for that.
I think so. Yeah. I think so. Yeah. If I'm not counting Scoopers, then yeah, I think they'll.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play the game that Scooper's got it and things like that.
because they could just throw out
Yeah.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think so. I think they'll have something in there. I'm still wondering if this rumor is true about Toby. If he's even that one, right? Does he?
Yeah.
Do they show that off or not? That to me is a question of how tracking is doing. To me, if there's those secret characters you start to see in some teasers before, that's when you start to worry. That December tracking's not
because again, if for instance, I mean, I love Chris Claremont. he's not an official announcement about
No.
Famke Janssen. So I
Yeah.
mean, technically that still counts if that happens.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I would count that. He could have heard anything. So
But he also's been notorious for, he don't care. He'll say something at that point, and it's true. And they're like, Chris said, "Hey, I'm the only one at Marvel that's got a lifelong contract. I can say whatever the heck I want."
Yeah.
So
I'm inclined to agree because I have one that is similar but a little bit more linear than that. So I'm going to have to agree with yours.
you don't have to. You can tell him, Chris, you're full of it. Do whatever you want. Not gonna hurt my feelings. All right. Well, back to you.
All right, I will go with my more linear version of that, and that is Doomsday will feature an unannounced cameo by someone from the TV universe. That's Netflix, ABC, or Disney Plus.
oh, just be Charlie already.
So say that
you
one
know?
more time.
Doomsday will feature an unannounced cameo by someone from the TV universe. That could be Netflix, ABC, or Disney Plus.
And
So
are we
it'll be
talking like
Amon.
really went back? Are we getting? We're talking like old school stuff, like the original Spider-Man.
Yep. If
Okay.
it was on,
He's
if,
playing the whole
if-
board. Anybody, any
if-
TV
if-
show.
If it's a TV show,
Well,
yep.
while we're thinking, I've been neglecting the chat at that point. So 65-year-old Julia Dreyfus wasn't announced yet.
Hey, she looks better than I do at
I-
35, you know. So
Maybe Toby.
yeah.
We'll be shocked if Halle Berry Storm isn't in the movie, and it will be Dreyfus, I reckon, but could be wrong.
I wouldn't be shocked about Barry just because I do wonder if Barry has like a bigger price tag that she'd be wanting, and for how many people are in that movie if they don't get, she leads movies still. She's still an Oscar winner. I wouldn't be shocked if she's not on there. She's come back before, but again, Days of Future Past was a much smaller cast than this is, right? So I hope she's back. I hope they're all back. I hope if this is the actual official goodbye to the X-Men Fox universe, then you get as many back as possible. So
Yeah.
I think I'm a 50-50 on that, and I think you're right. I think they'll pull off somebody, even if they're in a small scene, like even if it's Amon Villani. My hope is Charlie Cox. I really want the same way John Berthnall's transition in the movies. Not that he has to stay in the movies, but I still want Charlie. I know it's going to be like, oh, well, he was in No Way Home. He was, but he wasn't like that. That's just a cameo. It was fun to get him there, right? I want a full subplot story. Trying to think of any other character people. I guess Kate Bishop would count, even though she was
Yeah.
in a movie in a post credit. She could be somewhere. So I
But still
I think
TV.
you're right.
Originally
still
originated
TV.
from TV, so.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so there's been a lot of I'll save this last one because I think it's a little fun. Okay, so this one, this is purely going off speculation and rumors, and obviously something came out this week where it's kind of stoked that fires again. So there's all this talk about who's playing T'Challa. We don't even know if there is a T'Challa. There's been zero announcement of this. So what I'm gonna say is you will see no adult T'Challa in Doomsday. I think if we get I know there's these rumors about Jameson Idris and stuff, which I think he'd be good.
Yeah.
I think what they could do though is they'll use Secret Wars as some multiverse kerfuffle to either time travel or multiverse stuff where he is playing T'Challa Jr., but it's like, oh, this is him 20 years later, and then he can come in a la a Miles and Spider-Man after the last Secret Wars, right? I could see there. I think there's other characters, but that could be the bridge where they can always say, "Hey, that T'Challa, technically T'Challa Senior, was never recast. This is just a way to quickly age up the kid." They do this in soap
Yeah.
operas all the time, where a kid will walk off, go to school. They just go to summer camp, and when they come back, they were 10. They come back, they're 16. But the good thing with the MCU, they'll do it with time travel multiverse, where I think and you can kind of have some fun. Maybe Black Panther 3, where it's a weird dynamic where Letitia Wright has a nephew that is now her age. Like you can do some stuff. So I'm gonna say no adult T'Challa in Doomsday. I still think there's a chance because let's say if Shuri goes somewhere, it's a bunch of weird stuff, and you see somebody, and they're like, "Who are you?" And he says T'Challa. That's a huge stinger you could end on. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna say not in Doomsday. I think that's a Secret Wars thing.
Yeah, and I think, people say that, Doomsday is going to be a huge cameo fest. I think your even bigger cameo fest is Secret Wars.
Yes, that is
Because you can
everyone's
go
waiting.
so wild and crazy with the concept of that with Battle World. Man, that's where you can really have some fun and make and all it's just a cameo fest. Yes, that's what it's supposed to be. Have you not read Battle Worlds? That's exactly what it is.
Yes, and again, you can argue whether that's good or not. They're trying to go after an audience. When I saw that like every cameo that walked down Deadpool and Wolverine, the entire theater, I watched it twice, popped and was happy for it. Again, I think they are trying to go for those moments. Whether some of them might feel overly like cheap nostalgia or not, it doesn't matter. They're gonna try for it. So
I can see Daredevil and Punisher being in Secret Wars, but I don't know about them being in Doomsdays.
give me Cosmic
thank
Ghost
you.
Rider, and that's where you get the
Oh
ranking.
God!
That
Don't give me hope.
Let
Don't
Berthel
give
have a
me
little
hope.
fun with it. You know, that's what
Yeah.
I say. They're looking for a new Ghost Rider.
Yep.
There's one right there, baby.
Yep. All right. In Avengers Doomsday, when we do see our X-Men, at some point, it's not the X2 suite. It'll be the X-Men 97 suite. That'll be played.
That's interesting because I've seen a lot of people debate on what they're gonna do. Right?
My only point of like they've already are established that idea that it's going to be X-Men 97 is when from Miss Marvel when she says it's a mutation and they played da na 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 na.
See, the reason I could push back why this might not happen is one, almost no one watched the show, so no one will remember it, so they're safe there. But no, I'm joking around. Two,
I like the suite. I like the suite, but I think that 97 is much more recognizable, and I think you get more of a like, ooh, they did it.
The nostalgia pop.
My only pushback is, what if they plan to save that for the main MCU 6116 after Secret Wars, right?
Fair.
And
Fair point.
so that's where I'm going to say they're not. I think they're going to use the John. I think it's John Ottman that did it. I think they're going to use his theme. Watch them use them both. Watch there be two different sets of X-Men and they use them both. But that's what I think's going to happen. I'm not strong on this. I think you're easily right that because they did Miss Marvel. That's the theme. 97's back. They might just establish, hey, anything that's X-Men from now on till the end of time, you're hearing this theme because everyone loves it. I've liked some of the themes, but I would have liked Spider-Man, like Michael Giacchino, some of the score.
Yeah.
He did that great sympathy version of the Spider-Man. And it's like, I think at the opening credits for one of the movies, maybe for Homecoming, I think it's the opening, like the Marvel tag, and it's that. And they never used it again. It's this amazing new updated score, and that's one thing I do love. I know there's a big debate. I love that with Superman, where it's like, okay, we're going to use the Williams score, but we're going to update and change it a little. I'd be fine if that became for 97, but I think because those actors, that's my counter, is I'm going to say they'll use Ottman and then they're going to use 97 for the mainline MCU when we get there. But
I could very easily see that. That's when I went back and forth. But I said, "Hey, this is fun. This is fun predictions at this point." And I've created a new playlist that I got inspired by one of the people I follow on TikTok of just like favorite like song, like instrumental soundtrack stuff from like superhero stuff, sci-fi stuff, things like that. And it got me thinking, and also realizing, man, Michael Giacchino's I got a lot of his stuff on there, and stuff I totally forgot he did stuff with certain things. Same with Ludwig as well.
Yeah.
So, all right, our final ones.
All right, now
Let's get nuts. Come on.
I got a fun one.
I've got a fun one, a serious one, and an out the world one. So now I just got to figure out which one I want
Let's
to
get
go
nuts,
with.
David.
The out the world one, I think that's where you got to go, you know?
All right, the out the world one. Kevin Feige will announce a succession plan this year.
Oh, God. This year. That makes me really worried about
Wow.
Steve's Secret Wars.
I'm out.
He
got inspired by Kathleen and said, I'm out next week. Bye.
can do
I
it.
just said a succession plan.
That's
His
true.
could be a 3-year
That's a plan.
His could be a 3-year plan. Hey, I'm going to get you guys through Secret Wars, and then we've got this lined up. Then after that, I'm out.
I'm going to say no, but you know what? You never know in the sense that, because we don't know when this is happening. I could be wrong. Isn't Iger supposed to step down this year again, right? That's the idea.
Either this year or next year.
Yeah.
It's,
So to David's point, though, I'll say no, but where I will put the asterisk on it is if Iger steps down this year and someone takes his place where it's a similar thing to Chapek and it doesn't go well, there's always a situation where Feige might be, you know what, this isn't worth it. I'm going to end on these 2 movies. They're going to make $1 billion, and then peace, I'm out of here. So I'm going to say no, but I think there's like a 5% chance that something funky could always happen. There's always stuff happening that we don't even know about, right? So you never know, but I like it. Okay, mine's not as crazy now. Now David won the cake there. But
You guys told me to get nuts.
I'm choosing my nutty one at that point. I'm sticking by it.
This might be nutty on the sense of history, and I feel like I see this meme every week on Twitter when I log on.
Oh,
Saw it a lot.
There's a lot of those possibilities.
So we saw it a lot specifically a couple weeks ago. I'm saying Professor X, Charles Xavier, will survive Avengers Doomsday. That's been the joke. Oh, we're going to see him die again. I think they know that. I'm not saying Secret Wars. I'm saying maybe he could bite it then. But I'm saying in Doomsday because all the memes have been...
We're just talking about this year.
Yeah,
all bets are off for 2027.
Yeah, there's literally memes like, oh, Xavier's back for X-Men, and then it's all just the screenshots of him dying. I think everyone expects him to die again, to the point where I agree with people that the emotion might not be there. I think, granted, because they have him and Ian together, and there's real-life history there, they could probably make us feel it if they write it the right way, right? But I feel like when we got it in Multiverse of Madness, I felt pretty much nothing seeing him die, right? So it's like, you need to have some great writing. I felt it in X3. I felt it in Logan. I am at the point now.
I felt things in X3. I don't think I felt.
I like the specific scene. I think the movie's iffy, but I like the scene. Wolverine's crawling there, and don't let it control you. To me, the last image of Charles Xavier smiling, even though in the comics he's kind of an
creepy.
asshole.
That was creepy as all get out.
I liked it. I liked it for that Xavier.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel though with this though, I don't think I'd really have much emotion if he. And even in Days of Future Past, I was like, I don't think there'd be much emotion if he dies. So I feel like, why not save him? Because one, you kind of counteract everyone's expectations. And if we spend a little more time with him, maybe if he kicks a bucket in a Secret Invasion, then you do feel it. If you were to ask me what I actually think, he's probably just dying, and I'm wrong on this one. But I thought, let's have some fun and say he's going to survive this somehow.
I would say, I understand what you mean by, like, you felt something with X3. Jokes aside at that point, I felt it more in Logan than anything else.
Absolutely.
Logan just felt like, yes. I mean, it was already painful seeing him in that kind of state. That one said, oh, man. Yeah, that really carried it. But yeah, because if he does die in this, it's just like you'll hear chuckles and yells. Well, how are they gonna bring him back this time? You know, because it's just he's the one that's saying like a good story. Yeah, well, come on, man. But yeah, that is wild out there considering, like you said, the memes of it.
Yeah, so that's my bold Hail
What do you think,
Mary.
David?
Yeah.
He's surviving?
I think he's surviving this one. I think they're going to give him the respectful nod. Now, I don't think he's surviving the second one.
They got to have a new Professor X. They got to figure that one out. So
Yeah.
All right. So here's my nutty one, and I'm fine if I eat crow on it, but the possibility of this, and I have my head canon to will it into existence. In Avengers Doomsday, we will see Doctor Doom. No, that's where I'll leave it right there. We will see Doctor Doom wield Mjolnir.
Wow.
Here is my reasoning behind this. And again, I know this is Cool Ranch crazy idea out there, but the idea of whoever is deemed worthy, this isn't like necessarily, it's like, oh, it's Sword of Sword, he's got to be good. That's not what it says. Worthy. If Doom's mission is to save the multiverse in a way that whatever entity controls Mjolnir at that point as worthy, it could be one of those moments that would just be like, the villain is wielding it. How is that possible? I mean, you want to see, I mean, it's not going to be the pop of like, Captain America wielding it, but just to turn people on its head, to subvert expectations and to show how powerful. I mean, we've seen in the comics, Doom has the ability to wield the occult, all that kind of stuff, to establish himself. Like, he could do something to that effect in Doomsday to wield Mjolnir.
Yeah, and I think that because for the audience, and I think how some of the heroes would take it, that it has to just be good guys. If you were to see Doom with that, I think there'd be a lot of questioning. And I also think that would be good for the fact of what is worthy, what is the right thing, right? Because I think the hope is that Doom is similar to Thanos in the sense that he's doing something that he believes is right. And
He thinks he's the savior.
Yeah, from a certain point of view, maybe he is, right? So, I could be down with that. That would be quite the moment if that were to happen. So Yeah, I don't think it's impossible. I think I'm a 50-50 on this one because I could see it, and obviously Milner will probably be back because of multiverse mumbo jumbo and stuff. But yeah, I could see it. Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you think, David?
I agree. I could see it. I think it will give the crowd a gasp moment. You're not going to get the Captain America pop, but you will have the crowd have an audible gasp. It will be something that will be talked about. It's a moment, and I don't think they pass up on that.
And just the idea of just wielding what some people consider to be one of the ultimate weapons in the MCU, especially taking it away from. I mean, yes, we see in the trailer that he's got Stormbreaker, but his weapon is Mjolnir. Loves his Stormbreaker. Yeah. So, and just the idea of like everyone's like, oh, what do we care about Doom? We don't like to prove this idea. Like maybe he's coming in and everyone thinks he's the hero, and then at that second, he switches it and then just rocks everyone. I've said it when we originally said Kang. Kang is going to wreck the Avengers more than Thanos ever could. It's going to be worse. How do you like subvert everything and just like really knock the heroes down? If he's wielding Mjolnir and then just starts wrecking everything at that point, just like that'll be the moment where I could see like heroes going down permanently. At that point and just a huge surprise attack coming like that.
And you know what I heard? I heard 1 million people after Avengers making their phone wallpaper the image of Doom holding
Mjolnir.
Oh yeah, just like
they
did with Cap, just like I did with Cap holding Mjolnir.
Yep.
So yeah, no, I can see it.
So all right. So we will. I'll document that. We will track. We'll see exactly if who's going to be correct and who's going to get wrecked this year. But we got some good ones.
Yeah, especially the Doomsday ones. I feel like there's ones that we could be very far off. Especially even by the time we get trailers, we might be like, oh, we really misread this wrong. Yeah. Like I feel like Spider-Man, there's a lot of stuff we don't know, but I think there's like a general box they're playing, right? Doomsday, it's like they're still shooting stuff. It's like there's a lot of stuff that could happen. So I'm excited to see when we come back and these notes are like, oh man, we were so far off. But hey, who knows? Maybe we'll have some stuff.
And
right,
you know what I found interesting? Just a couple of things like. None of us, everyone stayed away from SDCC because I'm not confident. I'm personally not confident they're showing up this year.
Yeah, you would think that they would be coming in because of it being like December. They have lots of time, but maybe they won't. Maybe they will just do again. Well, we'll do the shows. We got Spider-Man, Friendly Neighborhood. We got X-Men '97. We got Wolverine, like the game, right? They can even like have something for that. So yeah, it's just and even then, I think. Technically D23 that is this year, right?
This
D23
this is the normal D23 year, yes.
Yeah. So again, they could have that idea like, well, let's save that for our thing. Costs us no money, you know. So yeah, SDCC I wouldn't hold my breath on. You never know. So
yeah, it's after last year I said, you know what? I don't even think they're going to do another slate. I think the more possibility of a slate is going to be next year. A hint of something post Secret Wars,
and even then, I think their slates, especially because before we've seen James Gunn
not like
change.
What they used to be, but like some kind of stuff after Secret Wars.
That's
gonna be the question.
Other than like a few Disney, like a few shows and animated shows, I think they're gonna go back to the old slates where it's like 2 to 3 years in advance, and that's it. Like the way it was like, hey, it's going Iron Man 2 to Avengers, and you have Cap and Thor. I think it's gonna be that where hey, we're gonna announce 4 to 5, especially if they only do 2 movies a year, we're going to announce just 4 to 5 movies. That's like 5 being the maximum. So yeah, I think the slates we know and loved are not going to be here's everything. I think even then I could see them being like, here's our 5-year slate. There's being 3 movies and those other movies just being question marks. Because like, we don't even want to risk people asking about this. Like, where's Armor Wars? Where's Blade? Like, again, who knows what happens? But the fact that Blade was announced the same year as Endgame and there's been nothing is kind of a joke. You know, like that like the fact that Blade, other than being a voice cameo somewhere, didn't happen. That to me is right there shows. You know what? Let's not get too far out in advance now. You know, so I agree.
Yeah, I think the days of getting an entire phase put out there. Here's everything we're going to be doing.
Yeah, those days are gone.
Here's what we have greenlit right now. Here's what we have scripts for.
We're shooting this next year. There you go.
Wait a minute, they have scripts?
And even then, like I feel like other than because I remember when we got the Daredevil announcement and even Kang and Doctor Doom. Like, I don't get me wrong, I don't think there'd not be a surprise in there, but I think that first slate too is going to be like X-Men, F4 2, Doctor Strange 3, Black Panther 3. It's going to be very
Proven
I think
properties.
I think there's going to be stuff that is. There's probably going to be one where it's like, whoa, that's crazy. But I think it's going to be all stuff we expect. So people don't expect to not get blown away when they do that slate, and it's going to be like 3 to 5 things that we already kind of know, right? Because it's just like, well, we already know they're doing X-Men. I would assume they're going to say F4 was successful enough to do it. So I don't think there's going to be other swings where it's like, I remember with D23, even that, oh, they're doing She-Hulk, Moon Knight, and someone else. Like, wow, we're getting Moon Knight. No, I don't think it's going to be like that. I think you're going to get one of those big surprises now where it's like, wow, they're doing that. Okay. And that's about it.
Before we take our commercial break, Arun's got a crazy prediction. Sadie Sink is playing MCU 616 Jean Grey, and there will be romantic tension between Spider-Man and her.
So wait till Fact or Fiction. We'll return to this. I'll just say the latter half, the romantic tension. That's a wild one. Maybe in that movie, but I don't know if they're gonna go. They're gonna go that route. But you know what? I'd be down. I'd be down for them to mix it up. The MCU stuff do not. They don't do enough comic book character pairings, dating and stuff. They should change it up a bit. So.
Yeah, I'm with you on the first part and not on the second.
Yep, him and Kitty Pryde. You know, we at least got comic book. For that.
There you go. Yeah.
So, all right, we'll take our ad break before we get into some fact or fictions, and maybe Travis will throw a question or two at us just because he has some wild stuff. You know. All right, so listeners, these ads help keep the lights on in Geek Ultimate Alliance Network. We don't get to choose what ads come on. It could be a bit loud, so give it that 3 count before they come on. 3, 2, 1. We'll be right back. All right, so no questions, at least from the audience. Do you have any burning stuff for us, Travis? Some wild question you want to throw our way, or we can go straight to fact or
I
fiction?
think it's fact or fiction. I think anything I asked in the predictions period
Okay.
now. And I will start with this because I try to do what I usually do when I'm on here. I try to do something for not every property, but different properties. So I'll go to what was just said there. I'm going to get the official fact or fiction. Sadie Sink will be playing Jean Grey. It's funny that Aaron brought that up, but that was one of mine because there's been so much scuttlebutt because at first it was, well, that's the first rumor. And then it was months of, well, it's not this, it's this, and it's a bunch of stuff. And now it feels like we've gone back because there's a bunch of other, I'd say C-tier scoopers, but people saying, I think she's Jean Grey. I want the official account. So this is why I didn't put in the predictions because I don't want to officially predict it, but I want to get the temperature checked before we get like another trailer or another big leak or something. So that's what I'm saying. Sadie Sink is playing Jean Grey in Brand New Day, and I'm gonna say fact. I think it's gonna happen. I think it's a lot
she will be our first official X-Men cast.
I think so. I think that's also like a big deal because then it's like, well, you got Punisher, you got Hulk, you got that. Now, granted, when we've heard these rumors that Punisher is like protecting her, I don't really understand that plot point.
Yeah,
if she's
that part
Jean
I don't
Grey.
know.
But then I've always gone back to, well, maybe he's protecting her because she's a Jean Grey that doesn't have full use of her powers yet, right? Like maybe she's very iffy with them, so she doesn't want to just pop off and do a bunch of stuff because maybe she'll just kill people accidentally, right? So that's my one thing. I don't know how we get there, so I'm gonna say
Not Dark Phoenix already. Not Dark Phoenix already.
Yeah. Oh, when I get really mad, Peter, something happens. So I'm gonna say fact that she's playing Jean Grey.
Okay, David.
I'm so mixed emotions with this because I mean it can be all over the place with who she's going with. Since I don't know, and I do think that'd be very cool. I'm just gonna go fact on that because, like I said, there's about 10 different options on who she can play. Oh my God, redhead in a Spider-Man thing that doesn't really narrow.
She
it
can't
down.
dye her hair. People, come on.
That's true.
So no, I'm gonna go with fact on that.
Yeah, I'm with you, David. I'm mixed emotions just because it's just like I don't hate it. I really don't. It's just I just almost hate giving the people who say, "Oh, she's got this hair color. It's got to be this." It's like, no, it doesn't have to be anything. It could just be the actress. Again, we're casting a part, not like the person way they look. But I'm fine with it. If it is, I'm not gonna be boo hiss. I could definitely see it. If they want to, this is the way they want to start introducing the MCU's version of the official X-Men. Yep, put in one of the biggest, franchises for the MCU. Put in Spider-Man. I mean, again, how'd they introduce Spider-Man? We put it in Captain America: Civil War / Avengers 2.5. That's just for you, Brent. I know how much you love that.
And I think the other thing that why I'm asking, because with you guys being mixed emotions, me as well. Reason I'm saying this is because when we got up to Homecoming, if you were in the online sphere, everyone knew Zendaya was playing MJ, right? That pretty much just came out that she's playing a name swapped, it was Michelle Watts or Michelle Jones, whatever, and then she does the whole, Dark Knight Rises, oh, Robin, like, oh, call me, my friends call me MJ. Like, that's why, because I think by time we get to the movie's premiere, us in this community will have a pretty good idea who it is. I think it will come out one way or another, just because I feel like right before that's when people are cutting more trailers, people are test screening, especially the test screens, right? Even then, like, because I just watched it this week, like, look at Barry Keegan's Joker.
Yeah.
There was nothing about that. And then one test screening, and it was everywhere of all this dudes playing the Joker. It went from, oh, he has a cameo as a cop to, oh, he's the full-on Joker. So that's the problem when we get closer. That's why I wanted to ask it further out, because it's more of a, let's see what the audience feels right now, and it's a bit more iffy versus 2 months from now when Deadline's like, we hear she's playing a character that has a history with the mutants, So.
I'm feeling like someone had something to do with this. Something about Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I feel like Spider-Man has something to do. I feel like Charles Xavier had something to do with this. Which one?
Where's Michael Keaton at?
Yeah.
Okay, so this
right.
was a bit of a broader one, but I'm gonna say Wonder Man will have a cameo from an MCU character that's led a TV or film project before. So I'm not saying, you're getting a Happy Hogan. You're getting like they always get that guy who's in part of Damage Control, right? I think he's actually confirmed for the show now, right?
Yeah,
Not Damage Control.
Yeah, he's in it in Wonder Man. Yeah,
he's popping up in everything. We've seen this dude more than Blade. My God, and he's playing nobody. But
he's got more play than Blade.
He does. So that's why I'm saying it's going to be a character of note. I'm a fiction on this one. I think Wonder Man's going to not have anything really much to do, but this could still be. I know there's been rumors about him being tied to Vision. Vision would count because that was part of WandaVision, right? So that's why I said a character that's led any TV or film project, because I'm sure will
appear in Wonder Man.
Yeah, a cameo Wonder Man. Could be anything. Could be, and I'm going to say physically appear, not just like a poster of Kingo giving us the finger guns. I'm gonna say like
talking about that event in New York.
Yeah, exactly.
A TV clip in the background.
Even if it's some sort of cameo, like the Chris Evans, Patience. Like if it's that, or if it's someone in universe but not in Wonder Man, I'll say that counts. I'm just saying it has to be someone that's led a TV project or film before. I'm going to say no, I don't think so. I think it's going to be one of those kind of very loosely connected to the MCU, but what say you guys?
Since you clarified, I'm going to go with fiction, because that I was going to ask to make sure. I didn't want, a TV in the blurb or him watching something about, the 10 rings in the background and we see like a glimpse of Shang-Chi. Like,
hey, the 10 rings did come back.
I'm a fiction.
Yeah, I'm fiction as well, just because I saw that clip they released and everyone started to lose mind. He said, I've been to the Void. It's the Void. Did you watch the entire clip? He's giving an audition. He's giving a hard front. He's not saying, I've been to the Void with Wolverine and Daredevil. Come on, people. Grow up. Get a life. This takes place in the MCU. They're doing certain things that wink and nod, things like that, but they want this to be kind of their tongue-in-cheek kind of humor, introduce a new character. Let's see if it takes off. I hope it does. All my not being excited for this series aside, I don't want this project to fail. I'm not that kind of fan. I want it to do well. I'm just not excited about it. But again, I'll say that I will be happy to eat crow and say, guess what? I was pleasantly surprised. That's what I want. I want a show to be pleasantly surprised. Hey, it wasn't actually half bad, and I actually could recommend it. I want to do that. I'm just not there yet.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay, so you know what? I had one here, but I think it's too easy, because I think it's just an easy fact. I was going to ask, will Wiccan appear in Vision Quest? But you know what? I think that's too easy.
I think that's a slam dunk on that one.
So I'm gonna give a little shout out to Brent here, because he would love to bug me. I'm going to ask, will Ralph Boner appear in Vision Quest? They say this is a trilogy. Ralph Boner did come back for Agatha. Someone just asked about Agatha season 2 in the comments there. Will they complete the set, and will Ralph Boner be in Vision Quest?
Fact. It's too good not to put out there, just because Agatha just gives it away. I think that's more than possible.
Yeah,
Even a picture or something, Ralph Boner in some way, in shape or form, will come back in Vision Quest. Yes.
I want him to not only come back, but I want them to see him on TV. He has made it big as an actor.
Well, that I'm gonna say fact as well. The only thing that would change this to a fiction is I wonder if this bastard Boner would pop up in Wonder Man. So that wouldn't give me a point because he's not.
That would be even. Oh, that would be.
But he's an
interesting
actor,
too.
right? That would
Yeah.
be easy. That would be because imagine if he's sitting in the room because they've pitched Wonder Man as Wonder Man was a
right.
character.
Wow.
Like Wonder Man was a combo character in their world, right? And
Yeah,
they're-
it was.
they're
It was one of those like it's their Flash Gordon basically.
Yes. So they're rebooting it. Could you imagine if Yaya's in the room with a bunch of actors and Ralph Boner comes out all mad because he like
Oh
botched the
my
edition or
God,
something
that
like
that would make be some interesting discussion at that point. Just wow, that
would be.
could
And there's
happen.
a little-
That's more plausible.
And then there's like a little tie to Wanda and Vision. You know, you got that going
Yep.
on. I do hope. So I'm going to say fact on this, but I will say if he does appear in Wonder Man, I'd actually take it back and say fiction because I don't think they double up. I don't think 2 boners in 1 year is too many, for the MCU. For the MCU, that's...
You were just hoping they finally get that in.
there's too many. That's too much for them. But
Too many.
so not a fact or fiction or anything like that, but I do. Well, here you go. You guys want me to throw a question? I'll ask a question.
Yeah.
Do you think between Doomsday and
Well,
Secret
first,
Wars?
David, are you a fact?
Oh yes, yeah. Sorry.
I am a fact. I am a fact. I want it to happen, and like I said, I could see him being making it big as a TV star or something else, But I do want him to return.
Yeah. All right. Here's your question.
Yeah. Here's your question from Travis Snell, Kelowna, former host of Marvel Alliance, GeekVerse podcast now. Will we see Evan Peters in either Doomsday or I imagine Secret Wars? Is this guy going to actually play proper Quicksilver again?
I say so. I think if he does appear, jokes aside about Ralph Boner and things like that, I think the fans would be very excited to see it because that's actually one of the most celebrated sequences. And the character, okay, yes, he's not the Pietro in the comics who really is a jerk and not really the most beloved character, but they brought that character saying, he's kind of cool. I like the idea, especially I think his underrated performance comes in the next movie too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. What about you, David? Do you think we're going to see him again?
I think we're going to see him again. I was just watching Days of Future Past a couple of days ago, and I remember thinking to myself, like, God, how incredible that scene was, and just how incredible it was at the time. And then rewatching it now, just thinking to myself, like, man, that he did awesome as Quicksilver. So I'm hoping that we get him back as that version of Quicksilver.
Yeah, I would. If this is a whole, I don't think all of it, but I think a lot of these movies are about winning back a lot of the fans, right? And I'm not. I was fine with said fake out. I didn't like it being turned into the boner joke and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Granted,
and I
if you
get
would've-
why.
Yeah, and if you would have asked me, would you want him back as Quicksilver? Absolutely. But obviously, that wasn't the time. They were doing other stuff. That's fine. But obviously, there was tons of people that just legitimately hated that they did the tease of Quicksilver and he wasn't Quicksilver at all. Take out the whole jokes aside. I think that would be a way to win people back. You could even make a... they did that joke before, but you kind of want to make that joke where, remember when Deadpool saw Chris Evans and Deadpool Wolverine thought it was Cap and it was really Johnny Storm? You could do that whole thing where she thinks it is Boner or that actor, but it is actually her brother and there's some connection there. I want them to do it. I actually think I'm going to say no because I feel like I can't get the nice things I want because I love that version of Quicksilver. I love Evan Peters. But I wonder, the only reason is it'd be super odd that he would be the only first-class person back. Could you imagine that? And all those first-class actors, the only person they bring back is Evan Peters Quicksilver. If we start to hear scuttlebutt of any other first-class people back for Secret Wars, then I might change my tune. But it feels like it's definitely more about the core X-Men, the Fox X-Men, right? So that's the thing. And that's this is something here you go. Chris, you thought I might think of something. I did now. Do you guys, with these X-Men, obviously we saw with Monica Rambeau, that end credit where she ended up somewhere with Xavier and Magneto and Cyclops. Do you think this is any of the X-Men that we've known in the past, like Alan Comes Nightcrawler, or do you think it's similar to the Logan and Deadpool Wolverine where this is a full-on new universe of X-Men untouched by anything Fox was doing?
I think this is this is a continuation of the X-Men that we know and whatever timeline spawned for them out of Days of Futures Past.
Yeah, I say this is Days of Future Past. Logan's back, that, and I think that also ties into the incursion being created because Logan's actions in Days of Future Past, or the whole crew. I just say Logan.
Yeah.
This is the incursion, just like Steve's incursion starts with him going back and having a kid. Thor having love,
Which is going to be
Love,
interesting.
love wasn't supposed to survive. Love was supposed to die.
Right, that's true. Yeah, which is going to
So
be interesting in the
yeah.
future if they ever do. You almost have to for a long time stay away from time travel, multiverse stuff, right? Because they set up those rules that anything you messing with time and it messes back, if you do it again, you're going to train the audience.
Well, welcome to the X-Men. That's that's a
Yeah.
lot.
You're just going to train the audience to be like, oh, every time a character goes back in time, then an incursion has to happen or something, right? But I'm sure.
Well, there are rules with incursions in the sense of if we go by the Spider-Verse at that point, like if you stay, and also Multiverse
Yes,
Madness,
I guess
if
so,
you
yeah.
stay, you're
right,
destabilizing
yeah.
it. Yeah.
So I guess if Steve went back, put everything back, and then came back, though he was okay. But obviously because he stayed, that's the issue.
stayed.
So
Yep.
yeah, okay, there we'll see. Those are my off the top questions. That's my
Okay,
fact or
yeah.
fictions. Chris, I'll send you those.
Yep, awesome. All right, well, that's a show, gentlemen. That's a show.
We did it.
We did it, yes. So, as always, we have post credits, but yeah. So, as always, thank you, Mr. Snell, for coming in and, as always, gracing us with your presence.
No, it was good to be back. Hope to be on more in the new year. Settled a bit more down with twins and whatnot, but you never know. Life is crazy, but I always try to appear on, and thanks for having me. And yeah, excited to see all this stuff. No matter what, I've said probably since the beginning that Russo's and Downey were announced that I am very worried for Doomsday. I hope to good loving that I love that movie, or at least have a good time with it. But it's going to be, no matter what, whether it's a great movie, good movie, bad movie, it's going to be an exciting year of build-up. I think already with these teasers, whether you like the way they did them or not, we've seen people are very excited to talk about this stuff. So I'm excited to get back into it. So
Yep, that'll be fun. And where can people follow you?
Trust me, still I'm talking almost every couple days on GeekVerse. Trash told you usually Monday to Wednesday. It's a little different right now because I got Taylor. God, crashing my ship right now because he's on maternity leave. He's got some spare time.
Shows up whenever he wants during Travis Told You.
Pretty much. He'll be like, yeah, I'm here at 10:50, then 10 minutes late, but that's okay. That's why you just follow the links and we'll tell you when you go live. But yeah, no, thank you very much.
Yep. David.
You can follow me here on the GeekVerse Network as part of the gimmick with Mr. Travis V. Snell. We've got
WrestleMania season coming up.
Yep, got a lot of content coming on as we're on our road to WrestleMania, and we've got a Royal Rumble
Road to
coming
Cody
up in
coming back.
2 more weeks. So yeah, and you can follow me on all socials at The Phantom, where I talk all things nerd and whatever craziness is going on in life.
Yep, and you can follow me on all the socials at Chris Balga. You can catch me for the monthly show on the Brave and the Boys Network for the monthly releases on the Brave and the Boys YouTube channel. And but yeah, follow me on all the socials. And but yeah, you can also follow Marvel Alliance at Marvel A Podcast on Twitter. You can follow the Geek Ultimate Alliance on Twitter at Marvel GUA. You can email the show at marvelalliancepodcast@gmail.com. You can DM us. All DMs are open across the board. Give us some interest. Let us know your predictions at that point. We'll be happy to read them on air in the next couple of weeks. Wonder Man. Just in case there's no news next week, we want to say Wonder Man, what we'll be doing is we'll be reviewing the first 4 episodes the week it releases, and then the following week we'll do the next 4. So I forgot about to say that. I should have put that in the network updates. But yes, so Wonder Man, first 4 episodes we'll do the first week, and then the next 4 after that. So, but as always, we want to continue to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcasts. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you all for joining us live in the chat. Thank you all for listening. Stay safe out there, everyone. And as Stan the Man would say, Excelsior, true believers. All right, David, post credits. You're up. What you got?
All right, post credits. Marvel is reportedly making an Avengers animated show for Disney Plus. Would you want this to be centered around the MCU Avengers or a different form of the Avengers?
Different. I still have I know I'm not the alone. Marvel's mightiest, the Earth Mightiest Heroes.
Mightiest Heroes.
Earth Mightiest Heroes is still next to X-Men 97, next to Spider-Man. It's one of those that I think people forget about Earth's Mightiest Heroes, except for us.
If it came out in the 90s, it would be hailed as good
Yes.
as those ones as well. I think it's just because it was in the age where Marvel's making a lot of very kiddie cartoon stuff. So when this came out, I think a lot of people didn't see it or saw it late. So I'm with you that I think it's very underrated.
Yeah, but I think, yes, you can have your mainstays like their Trinity, but at that point, but I want to see, again, you have all these characters. Let's play. I mean, take a page out of Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like, obviously, yeah, that is my answer. I've always said if they could just revive that show, that'd be great because it got canceled and they made a not good show, which was like Avengers Assembled, which was kind of a like almost adjacent to the MCU, like trying to be MCU, but it wasn't. I agree with Chris where I'm somebody that Friendly Neighborhood before when it was like the prequel Tom Holland series, I was looking very forward to that. And when they announced they're pivoting, I was very disappointed until I saw Friendly Neighborhood. Ended up winning me over. At first, it's like, okay, this is good. And then it got better and better. So I think that I would like between that, Batman Caped Crusader, let's do something else. Let's not do the same animation form. But yeah, I would have, if I had my druthers and it's not a revival, I would say do it that way. Sure, there's something you could tell something fun of like, let's do the original 6 from 2012 Iron Man to Age of Ultron, right? You could makeshift some like adventures they went on, but then you start to get in prequelitis and it's like, oh, we can't do this, or this doesn't make sense, or the voices don't sound exact. So I would say I'm with Chris where take the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man route, do something different, even if it's like that, even if it's like a MCU adjacent, right? Where it's like, okay, this is a full what if show, sure, but something where you're not boxed in. So
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. That'd be my preferred route because then you have a lot more room to play around with different storylines, introduce different things without saying, "Oh, well, Captain America would never do this because in Civil War he said this line that completely contradicts that."
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think that they should do it. With animation, despite what DC's doing, I think animation is a fun thing for them not to be beholden to an MCU thing and just have some fun because that's where they can really do storylines and put their own spin on it. So, but with that, we might see you next week. We'll see what news happens. Otherwise, we definitely will be back for our first 4 episodes of Wonder Man. So just stay tuned, watch all the socials, and we have a great weekend and week ahead.
See ya.